Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we want to take a look again at Haxorus in the Open Great League, this time around with the move Dragon Tail as a closer. Well, we already had a video earlier on with Counter as a lead, which also worked out super well on the channel. Check that one out if you haven't already, going to be linked in the end screen anyway as well, so just stay tuned till then. But otherwise, you're going to take a look again now at the Dragon Tail variant here in the Open Great League. I made a poll today on YouTube as well, what you want to see, if you want to see it in Master League Premier Cup or again in Great League with Dragon Tail. Turns out more people want to see the Master League Premier Cup, but sadly Niantic didn't enable the option to use an Elite TM on this Pokemon to get the move, so I have to wait until this is an option because I'm not gonna waste 600k Stardust onto a Pokemon that I have already built before. So yeah, basically I cannot do it sadly right now. I don't even have enough Stardust to do that already. So I'd rather take a look at the Great League variant here as well. My community day was actually pretty decent. How was yours? Let me know in the comment section. I got around like 40 shiny Pokemon. I had weather boosted the entire time, which is actually for me preferred, to be fair. The IVs are not really as important on this Pokemon because they're very attack weighted anyway. So I rather take the extra Stardust because I'm currently kind of low on Stardust than the, yeah, I don't know, additional PvP IVs or anything like this. But still had a great time with the community day. There were some bugs as well, but yeah. Sadly, not able to use an Elite TM on my already built Haxorus for the Master League Showcase, but I might do it then later on when it gets added. Back in the day, like I asked on Twitter, like why it's not in there. Back in the day when I did also videos already about this, about like Community Day Pokemon or whatever, it was definitely an option to use an Elite TM during the Community Day as well. Like the option would go away when the Community Day ends. But nowadays, I guess it is not even an option anymore during the Community Day. I don't know why that's the case, but definitely was the option back in the day where you were able to use an Elite TM for Pokemon during the Community Day to get the Community Day move. I don't know why they removed that. Last time I had to do that was like a little bit more than a year ago, so like I saw like people were like confused by even asked for that, but like it definitely was a case back in the day because I remember doing that several times in order to make a video. But yeah, we're going to now have to take a look at the Great League. There's not a lot that I can do about that, but we're going to take a look at the Master League Premier Cup eventually anyway. So, back to the gameplay here. Look at this matchup right now. It's going to be so fun because actually Umbreon was able to beat here and Registeel in the one-shot scenario there, but we're still going to get the shield now anyway from the opponent. They can go for the charge move. I don't know why I didn't get the fast move through here, but this is the game we play right now. In comes now the Medicham again. This can still be a very difficult match to win here, as the Ice Punch coming through. They have some energy stored, so I'm forced to go for a Dragon Claw here right now, and it's going to be a tough one to still come back from. Let's take a look what's coming in here right now. The opponent is going to go into... let's find out. The Digger Speed, I can go ahead and go in for a Blast Burn here right now, but now I have to swap out into my good friend, the Haxorus, and I have to try to farm him all the way down. But sadly, the opponent going to be able to go for a charge move before the Earthquake going to knock me out, and because they're running Quick Attack instead of Mud Shot, they're going to be able to farm me down here as well, which usually wouldn't be the case, but great game there. Counter definitely would have helped us here as well. And in general, I started pretty bad with this team, I have to say. I went 1-4 in my first set that I played with this team, but then I actually went on a crazy decent run. Like I went like 8-2 I think with this team, which is super wild for the current meta because like this is something that's like a little bit more spicy. But honestly, in the games that I lost before, I was completely hardwalled by teams that didn't even make sense, which I was like kind of confused, and I saw like the same team 3 times in a row, where I always had like my Umbreon aligned against some alone Ninetales. So while those games of course were basically impossible to win, the games afterwards where it was more neutral, this team actually played really good. I think it's of course mainly the Umbreon plus the Charizard that really wrecked the meta right now, but also the combination between Charizard as well as the good friend Haxorus here in the back is pretty decent because our lead of course going to be a fire type, being weak against those water type Pokemon. Haxorus is going to be able to have a great time against those Pokemon. So as we're going to see now in this match, we're going to be able to go ahead and go into our Charizard. You have to try to bait the opponent here. We have to try to bait the opponent that we can go ahead and maybe go for one Dragon Claw first and then go for the Blast Burn here in order to knock them out. They're going to shield up the first move. I have to go for another charge move here. I might have actually been able to even knock them out without it, but we will see now that they can farm me down. I'm gonna go ahead and go into my Haxorus here right now. I'm gonna be able to go for one Dragon Tail against the opponent, but they're gonna go ahead, go for the Ice Punch. It doesn't knock me out quite yet. The Deoxys comes back in. I have no option to win the CMP here, so the opponent going to be able to win this game. But it's going to be a close one. Now we're, I think, coming close to those ranges where I had a crazy good run, but we will find out shortly. Hopefully we're going to have some better games coming up. Honorable lead again here, kinda. The Sableye usually wins this lead here against the Sableye. Tried to catch the move on my Umbreon, didn't work out, but you're gonna get out the Venusaur here while being basically in a crazy energy advantage. And this kinda can help us out quite a bit because we generate energy faster than the opponent. Our charge move takes exactly the same amount of energy than their charge move, so we're definitely going to be able to outspeed them to the third move here. But I'm going to shit up the first one already as the Frenzy Plane is coming through here. They're gonna go ahead and go straight for the next one, which I predicted, so I went for another fast move, which gave me a free fast move here as well, which is really nice for me, allowing us now to hopefully realign here. As they're forced to let this move go through, they didn't really have any other option. And in comes again the Sableye. We're going to be able to go for another charge move here. They are forced to go for a return against me to knock me out because anything else wouldn't be enough. And let's see if we can still flip this match here. Return coming through doesn't knock me out here because I think they are now charged pretty nicely. But I can now go ahead and go for the Dragon Claw spam. In comes now the Dragon Claw, going to get the shield from the opponent. We're gonna get them low here. We're going to be able to shield this move up. And honestly, here comes a situation which I really annoyed at myself a little bit, but of course I couldn't know really. What I'm going to try to do here is now I'm going to try to catch a move on my Haxorus. And it didn't work out. But because it didn't work out, it means if I went for another fast move, I would have won this game by this point already, because I could have blast burned the opponent again. Like this, I'm going to throw away basically my Haxorus sadly, which now allows the opponent to just go ahead and go for another fast move. And I'm going to be able to knock out their Noctowl, but sadly the Sableye is coming through here right now and going to knock me out. So again, not that great of a start so far. Next game, we're going to see the Sandslash in the lead. This is something that I hate to see in the lead for this team. This would be like the ideal scenario where you have Haxorus with a counter in the back, because Haxorus with a counter can of course win against Sandslash always basically in the 1 and 2 shield scenario, because you just counter them down. But because you have Dragon Tail in the back here, it's not really ideal for us. In comes now the Altaria, which we can now go ahead and try to go for a foul play against it. We're going to shield up the first move expecting the Moonblast, but it's just a Sky Attack here. So that was kind of a waste of a shield. But actually, luckily we're going to be able to go for a Moonblast here and get our shield back, which is going to be nice for us, as we can go ahead and go for another charge move here. The foul play is coming through, and we can actually try, we actually could have tried to snipe the opponent there. Should have maybe swapped out already into my Charizard. I'm going to snipe them here right now with my Charizard, going for one Dragon Claw. They should still have a ton of energy, so they wasted basically with that one here right now. And I'm going to try to get to a Blast Burn as well as a Dragon Claw against the opponent here. I have to shield up the incoming Ice Punch. I'm going to overfarm by a little bit here. Is this enough to get to the Blast Burn already as well? Let's take a look at this. We're gonna get the shield here, and we're gonna be able to go for the Blast Burn in time. And it's going to knock out the opponent's Sandslash, and we can now realign. In comes a Nidoqueen. This can be a little bit tricky, especially as we are not running Surf on our Haxorus, so that would have been a one-shot against the opponent. We're running Night Surge, which is definitely a little bit better for Dragon Tail. I don't think that Surf would have helped me out quite that much, but we're going to be able to now take the Poison Fang from the opponent, and they are forced to go for a Poison Fang against me here right now as well, which they go ahead and do now. And this is not going to be enough to knock me out, and I can farm them all the way down. And again, Breaking Swipe actually helped us out quite a bit there, because otherwise without Breaking Swipe it would have been enough. Like this, we will be able to win this game. In comes a Haxorus against us right now. And this opponent here is going to have definitely also some spicy stuff. There was actually a game, I think it's not in the video sadly, which I actually won as well. One of the earlier games, so like I think I cut out the first set, which was 1-4. But the one game that I won was against an opponent that played the same Haxorus team that I showcased earlier today, that got sent to me, which was kind of funny. So like if you watch this video, you sadly not made it in there because I just cut off the first set entirely, but still had a lot of fun playing against you, so good game there. I just want to say that here in the beginning. But yeah, sadly not going to be in there because I just cut off the first set because I wasn't really happy with all the hard count I had there. But yeah, you're going to see here now the Registeel coming in, and as you saw already before, Registeel with us, the Umbreon, was definitely something that Umbreon still had a chance against, especially if the opponent doesn't really play it perfectly. And here we're going to still be able to go for another foul play, gonna get them low enough that you can still get to another foul play and knock them out. I don't know why the Registeels play so horrible against our Umbreon today, but Umbreon is having a great time here. We see the Noctowl coming in at this point of time. I know this is game over. We will be able to win this game with our Haxorus here. In comes the Breaking Swipe. This Breaking Swipe going to get the attack drop onto the opponent, and we can farm them all the way down as the Charizard is coming through, and we're going to see the Blast Burn burning down this chicken here in the air, and we're going to have some lag. This is not going to be ideal, but boom, I'm going to say goodbye to the Noctowl there. As you see, by the way, as well, you see like the Pokeballs coming in there, for example. I was playing still during the community day here, but I was at least still able to like play 2 hours of the community day, getting my 40 shinies there, which was kind of nice. Honestly, I never had that much luck, I think, with the shinies. Like, the amount of shinies that I got was kind of crazy, but also the amount of spawns seemed to be better this time around compared to other community days. Maybe I'm just like, I usually don't really walk that much around anyway, because we have a lot of stops where you can just sit down and just play there, which is kind of nice. But yeah, this time around I was running around the entire time, so maybe that's why I caught a little bit more, because yeah, definitely helped out with the shinies. 40 shinies from one day is kind of nice. We're going to see here the Alolan Ninetales coming in, which going to, of course, be a difficult Pokemon to deal with, especially as Charizard kind of went down there. But usually, at least the Umbreon still going to be able to do something against it, especially if it's not Charm but Powder Snow. Powder Snow Ninetales is actually kind of fine for us. Here we're going to see the opponent going for the Frenzy Plant, which he can survive, as he can now swap into the Haxorus, trying to farm them all the way down. Haxorus has nothing to hit the Alolan Ninetales with, so the superpowers coming through, we survive it with a 1 HP in a dream. We can go for the Breaking Swipe here right now. They're going to let this move go through, they can farm me down, and now we're going to have to try to kinda win with our Umbreon. We will be able to go for one charge move here, as they're going to go for their own fast move, but I feel like we are just barely out of range for the what's called Weather Ball here right now. And they're going for the Weather Ball, and this is not enough to knock us out, but this last resort will be enough to knock out the opponent. Good game there. Next opponent coming up, let's take a look at this one. We're going to get now the Charizard against a Sandslash. Again, I don't like this matchup. This is actually a positive matchup for the Sandslash in the 2-shield scenario, just because they're outspeeding me. But luckily, they went ahead and went for a charge move against our Umbreon, allowing us to get rid of a ton of energy off their, Sandslash there, basically getting into a Gallisopod here. This is going to be a tough matchup for us because they have super effective moves against me, but still we're going to be able to resist the fast move, and I feel like the last resort does a little bit more damage in general compared to foul play. So what we're going to do here right now is we're going to try to go ahead and go for the last resort here right now, because I kind of still want to keep my Umbreon alive, because the Shadow Claw variant of the Sandslash doesn't really do anything against me. I can swap into my Charizard, catch the move, which is going to be the Axew, double resisted, doesn't do any damage, and we're gonna get out now the Pelipper here. Pelipper are going to not really enjoy this incoming Blast Burn, but they're going to shield this move up right now. We can shield up the move from the opponent as well, as the Weather Ball is going to approach us here right now. We can go ahead and go for a double Dragon Claw. They are most likely going to shield at least one move up here. They're going to shield up the first Dragon Claw up, as we can go ahead and go for the next one, trying to knock them out, but going to, of course, do a ton of damage here, as we can go ahead and go into the Haxorus. 2 Dragon Tails, going to be enough to farm them all the way down here. As you're going to see now, the Sandslash coming through, they're going to be able to knock us out most likely with that one, but I kind of want to keep my energy here around, go into my Umbreon, and at this point of time, I know already I won this game, because there's no way that the opponent going to be able to win CMP against my Haxorus with any of their Pokemon, and like this we're even gonna get to another charge move here because I wanted to farm me down, and this Pelipper will not enjoy this Breaking Swipe, allowing us to clean this game here with our Haxorus, and we can say good game to the opponent here, because that's going to be it for that one. Let's take a look at the final game of today's video. We're going to have a Beedrill in the lead, a very good lead for us, as they're going to swap out into an Azumarill. What do we do against Azumarill? There's nothing on our team that can deal with this Pokemon, you might think, but you're wrong with that. The hard answer for Azumarill is, of course, our Charizard, because Blast Burn from a Shadow Charizard plus the Ring Attack damage is absolutely insane. Goodbye Azumarill, we don't need a counter for you, we have already our Charizard. As you're going to get out the Beedrill right now, we can still go ahead and go for one Dragon Claw. Do the opponent know? No, the opponent does not know what we're going to go for, and we're gonna go ahead and go into the Umbreon. Seems to be a little bit weird, but Exeter is the best move they can hit me with, and this move is not really that strong. They're gonna go for Drill Run here anyway. They can go ahead and go for another charge move against the opponent. It's going to be the foul play. I can swap out, but they swap out at the same time into their Swampert. We can shield up another charge move from the opponent here, as the Hydro Cannon going to come through here, but gonna get shielded. We can go for the Breaking Swipe. We're gonna be able to get the attack drop onto the opponent, and we're just going to farm them down. going to farm them down with the Dragon Tail here right now, and we're gonna get out of this matchup with a Moose Dot. Night Slash is coming through, and we're going to be able to win this final game here for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already. There are 2 videos on the screen, one going to be the other showcase for Counter Haxorus, so if you haven't seen that one, check that one out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.